Aloha everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another Meet My Plant Friends. But this time we're doing a Meet My Plant, I guess, cousin. So welcome to the channel, Tioni.
Thank you.
And I'm so happy to be in your space and seeing your plants because I know this is kind of like a new journey for you.
Yeah.
And also I think this is the first time I've seen your place during the day, because when I was here last time in town, I came at night.
Yeah, you did come at night, yeah.
So a lot has happened since the last time I seen you. You've been into plants and I was like, oh, I need to have you on the channel and talk plants. I always love having different people from around the world on the channel to talk about plants because everyone has a different living environment and a living space. So it's always interesting to see how plant life is in different parts of the world. So thank you so much for coming on the channel.
Yeah, thank you.
And I'll put all of her socials and everything in the description box down below and you can follow her. So before we get started and talk plants, just because you're my cousin, tell the channel how long have you been on the island and particularly in this apartment, and also how long you've been into plant life and what do you do?
Okay, so let's see. I'm originally, well, Juju and I are originally from Hilo, as you guys know. I'm from Hilo too. I moved here for college back in 2008 and I've pretty much stayed here and made my life here. My husband and I have been in this space, this apartment for going on 1.5 years, I think. Okay. But I've pretty much been into plants forever. I've just never been good at plants. I've had a lot of plants and they've expired.
Okay.
But recently I've been better, and I think it's because when COVID happened, I started working from home and my quality of life changed. So I was able to spend more time doing things that I liked versus having to be stuck in traffic. Because if you know Oahu has really bad traffic. Being that I've been working from home, my plant collection has expanded and I've had more time to take care of them. So yeah, I've always kind of been into plants.
Okay.
I just never was any good at it.
Okay, so do you want to talk maybe about your first plant and then maybe you can point it out when we do the plant tour?
Okay. My first plant is not here.
Oh. Okay, your current first plant that's living in your collection
actually,
right now.
You know what? I have a succulent outside.
Okay.
That was my first plant and I saved it a couple of times.
Okay.
And this is the first time it's actually, I feel like it's thriving for the first time. But I think I've had to revive it like 2 or 3 times. But yeah, but it's outside, so I'll show you when we get there.
Can't wait to see that. Now, talking about plant life in Hawaii in particular, because I know Hawaii people are really lucky to be able to do plant life in a tropical setting, because I know there's people around that world that do not have beautiful weather all year long for people on the islands, and I feel like tropical plants are also more readily available and more common compared to different parts of the world. So tell me, how is it to be a plant collector enthusiast on a tropical island? Do you find that the plant opportunities as far as for retail spaces, how do you find that?
Well, I do a lot of research and I find a lot of my plants on Facebook Market. And I also try to support smaller businesses. Okay. And in the last, I want to say 5 years or so, I've done a lot of research in just learning who I am as a Hawaiian and in culture. And so I learned that I can find out a lot about our culture being Hawaiian through plants. Nice. So I tried my hand at pakalana, which did not end well. Okay. So I have to try again. And I did have a puakeni tree at one point.
Wow.
Which I have to try again.
Okay.
And so there's a lot of different plants that exploring my culture gave me that opportunity to learn different plants. So that was fun.
Now with your collection, like, can you count the amount of plants on 2 hands?
No.
Oh, you have more than 10 plants.
I think so.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. So speaking of plant count, at first I used to count my plants and now like I'm 600 plus plants. I just have a lot of plants. Tell me, where do you see yourself with your plant life in like the upcoming year? Like, what are your goals for your plant life in the next year?
Well, I want every room to have a plant.
Okay.
I can't have plants in my bathroom currently because my bathrooms in this space don't have windows. But eventually when we get a new place, I want to make sure I have windows in all the rooms because I love plants in every room. It just livens up the space. But I think my next goal is to bring some plants into my home office, because you know that place is just, it's a stressful day and plants just bring happiness. So I just want to have a little corner that's just all plants, like a little mini jungle.
Okay, I can't wait to have you back on the channel in like a year and see where your plant life is at. Okay, yeah. Before we go ahead and walk around and take a little tour of your space and your plants, tell me, is there any kind of wish list plants that you have that you would love to get to add to your collection, and why?
Yes, so I've always been really fond of butterflies, and so I definitely want to add plants to my lanai area that will attract butterflies. Okay. So I do want to get crown flowers, the purple and the white one. I want to try my hand again at Puakeni and Pakalana. I have a bunch of anthuriums that I really love. Like last year, the orchid shop on the Big Island had a sale on these black, I think they call it Black Love anthuriums, and they were so beautiful. They were like Black Friday, and I didn't get them, and now I regret it. But yeah, so there's a bunch of anthuriums that I want. My husband got me that white orchid, and that's the first time I've ever kept an orchid alive this long. So I think I might want to expand into orchids too, but I gotta take it easy. But yeah, those are some of my wish list items.
Okay, so I look forward to seeing that. And I feel
and
like
mistletoe cactus.
Oh yeah,
that's my next one.
Okay, ripsalis are like, you can go crazy, I think, with ripsalis. I have a huge ripsalis collection. I wish you could come see the collection.
I know. Next time I'm in Cali, I gotta
come. So let's go ahead and do a little plant tour of your space. Okay. And also maybe while we're walking around, maybe your top 5 favorite plants in your collection. Maybe if you can highlight that. Okay. Also, for those of you guys who haven't noticed, she's also a dog mom. So how is it like having dogs with the plants? Do they care about it? Because Evie does not care about the plants.
Mosey loves flowers. Okay. So I actually moved my butterfly plant. It used to be on the counter in the kitchen when I brought it down below. Mozart always stops and smells the flowers. He actually stops and smells the flowers. He loves flowers. Or if I have leis, I'll put them in an area where he can smell them. But other than that, they pretty much leave it alone. And of course, I'm always like, you know, on guard on making sure they're not eating it or anything. So
let's go ahead and do a little plant tour, a little walk around in your space. And thank you so much for having the channel over.
So we're here in my master bedroom, 2nd floor. I only have one plant upstairs, and this is my pilea. I fell in love with this just because I think the leaves are so cute. It is a little sick right now, so I am trying to figure out how to get it better. It lost a bunch of leaves right here in the back just recently, so I'm learning about this plant. But since I've put it in this room, it's always done really well. So I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. Why the plant is in this room is because I'm really minimalist. Well, I try to be. So I kind of liked, you know, just a really plain background, and I kind of thought that this gave a little interest to the space, and that it was unique and fun. So, and it's my favorite plant. That's why it's here in my room, because I like to enjoy it. Plant this year, so only maybe just under 6 months. I bought it from a person off of Facebook Market, actually. I buy a lot of my plants off of Facebook Market. I believe she has a store, but I'm not sure like where or what she does, but she collects plants and sells them. So I was able to get this from her for like 25 bucks. Yeah, so my only plant upstairs. All right, people, so here's my Calathea orbifolia. I love her, but she drives me crazy. So my husband actually got her for me on November 3rd, his birthday. I had some really bad news and I wasn't feeling good that day, and he knew that this was a wish list item that I had, so he came home and he surprised me with it. He did get it at like a big store. The price point was like 24 bucks. I was like, what? $24? So yeah, he got this beautiful Calathea, brought it home. It's been doing okay in this corner so far. I picked this corner for this plant because I had a smaller one and I kept it in the common area, but the leaves turned crinkly because there was a lot of air, a lot of draft. So I learned that they don't like draft. So we found it here, and this place kind of gets warm when the AC is off, lighting, and it seems to be doing well here. So my white orchid, it's wilting. It has to acclimate because it used to be in a plastic nursery pot, and I just repotted it like literally a couple days ago. so it has to acclimate again. It usually lives in the dining room with the calathea, but because of the holiday and just everything going on, there's no space right now, so she's here for now, but eventually she'll go back to her home in the dining room. Here is super special to me. On my last day of clinical supervision, my clinical supervisor gave me this plant. He didn't know that I was into plants, and on that last day we were talking story, and he was like, oh my god, when I saw the plant, I was like, oh my god, this is like something that I want. He's like, oh, he like ripped it out of the ground and he gave it to me. This has been growing. I've had this since June, and it was like nothing, and then now I have 4 little sprouts. This is my Ficus alii. I got it from a small plant shop in Kaimuki. Jewelyn knows which one. And then this is actually a gift that I gave my sister. It's a baby monstera. It was my sister's. She nearly killed it. She gave it back to me. I revived it. It had a bunch of leaves, but now only 2. So we'll see what's going on. But there was like there was no stem when I first got it. It was just like 1 little leaf, and now it's growing slowly but surely. So this is our bird nest fern. Dax, my husband, actually picked this one out. We knew we wanted it outside in the lanai, and so far it's doing okay. We're kind of afraid that it might be too much sun, but it's okay because sometimes, as you can see, like in the afternoon, there's not a lot of sun back here, so we're hoping that it'll continue to do well. But yeah, I love it. It just needs some nice feet.
And you haven't had this plant for too long?
No, we just got this. The Ficus alii and the fern is one of our newest to the collection. Okay, so this plant was actually one of my very first like cultural plants. So this is the kalo. This is black kalo, and I got this from a Facebook market from a guy that sells plants, and he's in Waipahu. And it's a funny story about this guy. The stalks were huge. It was super tall. I kept it in my house. One day I was like super new to plants. I brought it outside and it just fell, and it never came up again. So I lost those leaves, and now I have these. All right, so these are my succulents. This guy right here is probably the oldest plant I have. This is the one that I was explaining to you when we were talking story, that I've had to revive him a few times. But this is the best he's been doing so far. Yeah, my oldest plant, and I love them. They're super cute. Okay, so you guys saw my very first plant up in my room, my pileo. That's my #1 favorite plant. My next favorite plant is going to be my kalo, because they're the only cultural plants that stuck around for me. So that's my #2 and the oldest. In no particular order, this is #3. I love her. She's big and beautiful, and I love her leaves. I love this little succulent. Just the shapes of the leaves are just so pretty. I think it's so cute, and I can't wait to see like if it'll grow really big one day. 5, my Ficus alii, although I do think that is more like a 3 or a 2. But yeah, my Ficus alii. I love oh, it's so pretty. Okay, my #6, this is my oxalis. I love the purple leaves, and I love that it reminds me of a butterfly. So that's my #6. I said the pileo was my favorite, but I honestly think that this is my #1 favorite, my Calathea orbifolia. She is just beautiful. I mean, just look at her. She's just beautiful.
So I hope you guys enjoyed today's little plant talk Q&A, meet my plant cousin. To see someone in my family into plants. I never like to push plants on anyone, but as soon as I found out that she was having plants in her space and I was coming home, I wanted to have her as a special guest. So Tioni, do you want to tell the channel where to find you and what are you into on social media?
Well, I show a little bit of my plant life on my Instagram at Tioni Tamsing. Mainly, I'm a professional therapist by trade, not licensed yet, going to be. And so you'll see a lot of that kind of stuff on my Instagram, and I share a lot of my music. So music is a huge part of my life, so you'll see that on my channels as well.
She's a singer, I'm a dancer. You also have a YouTube channel. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, Hawaii Tioni Tamsing. I think that's the tag or username.
So if you want to see her sing, go subscribe to her YouTube channel. And also you're into, like, you have a whole foodie life too.
Started a keto blog it was really kind of like for me to just track my weight loss journey, and just find fun local kind of inspired foods that are keto. I did it for like 3 months, and I realized, you know what, I'm pretty good at this. So I kind of researched and saw that nobody in Hawaii was doing Hawaii inspired keto food. So I said, oh, let me try it. And so I've done it. I've been doing it for about a year. I have a small and growing following. My handles for that is Hawaiian Keto Girl. So I share a bunch of Hawaii-inspired, keto-friendly, low-carb, sugar-free food. So it's like perfect for people with diabetes or that have renal failure. It's really great for them. Yeah, so I share a bunch of that, and then I also try and find businesses that are also keto-friendly and low-carb.
All right, so if you are interested in keto-friendly dishes, singing, inspirational posts, go and follow Tioni, and you can follow her, and I'll put all of the socials down below. I think you're on more different social media networks than I am.
I know too much.
So thank you so much for hanging out on the channel.
Thank you.
And it's nice to be able to have you as a special guest on the main channel.
Yeah, that's fun. Thank you guys.
So if you're new, welcome to the channel. Subscribe for daily uploads between the main channel and the vlog channel. You get a video each and every day. Signing off from, where are we, Tioni?
We are in Kapolei,
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Aloha. Bye.